pretty routine in the end, I thought, there for your side, Ross.
Yeah, I think apart from a funny 5 minutes at the start of the second half, which was unexpected, I think they had all their shots in that period. Apart from that, I thought we were excellent. I thought the boys' intensity, the willingness to run and work harder than them and do all the dirty stuff, which enabled us to go and play some outstanding football, was really, really good. So a really strong performance with a really depleted squad. I mean, we lost 2 starters from the starting lineup, so in Matty and David, and Matty on the day of the game as well. So yeah, it was tough circumstances, but I think the guys that came in were outstanding. I think there was a really, really strong team performance, and my only disappointment is, Toby, we should have scored a lot more goals. I think, with what we created, but I'm really pleased for them. They deserved that, and now we have to make sure we go and build on it. And if we score first, we're really, really difficult team to play against, and that's why we created so many chances, because the other team have to open up a little bit. So yeah, really pleased with the players, really strong performance, and sets us up nicely for this busy period.
I mean, it was some strike to take the lead with, wasn't it? I mean, we've seen Ben Gladwin with some screamers in the past, but I think that one's right at the top of his list.
Yeah, it was outstanding, wasn't it? And we know he possesses that quality. It was nice to have him back in a position he really wants to be playing in. I mean, he's done great at wing back for us, but he sees himself playing in that position, and fantastic goal. And I thought he was good today, Ben, and we need to get him back up to speed really quickly in that position, but I thought he showed some real glimpses, and the goal was outstanding. The quality, the move in the first place for him to pick up the position he does, the intensity from the other guys at the top end to take players away, to threaten to run in behind and give him space to work in was top draw. So and a good time to score as well. We felt it was coming. The only frustrating thing for me is it has to take something like that, because we had much better chances than Ben's one to put it in the top corner from 20 odd yards. So really pleased for Ben, a great goal that could have graced any game.
Well, I was just going to say, actually, I mean, the chances you had in that first half, you could have gone in 2 or 3 up at the break.
Yeah, and I think it's because of the situation we find ourselves in. This, the players are frustrated at our league position. We should score more goals. There's no doubt about it. I've said it a lot to you guys, how many chances we create. We get in there regularly, but when you're riding high at the top of the league, it becomes easier because you're more relaxed in front of goal. There's less tension. You feel like it's just going to come. And here, still at the moment, we're still trying to get into that place. In the second half, we had even better chances. 3 or 4 outrageously good chances, really, in the middle of the box. I think we had 14 shots inside their box, which tells you how many we did have. So yeah, we need to keep working on that, and that's a mentality we need to have, and that helps. That strengthens and gets better when you win games. It's as simple as that. So we need to make sure we turn this into a catalyst for us over this period, and we need to build on the win, because we've got some outstanding wins this season and performances, and we haven't built on them. So we need to make sure we really, we crank it up a bit, crank it up a notch now, and concentrate on winning the next game, which is going to be difficult because we have a very depleted squad, which I'm sure you're going to ask me about. So, but there's going to be players who get opportunities that they thought they might not have, and the ones who came in today and the ones who came off the bench really took those opportunities. So they have to make sure they continue to do that. And if they match the intensity they play with today, we're a match for anyone.
Yeah, don't worry. I'll get to your depleted squad in a minute. Good time to score in the second period as well, wasn't it? You mentioned there little patch at the beginning of the second half there where they came out a completely different side. I thought in that second half, but Scott Fraser, you put him in those positions, he tends not to miss.
Yeah, it was a really good goal. And of course, you're expecting a reaction from the opposition when we had the dominance we did in the first half, and we spoke about it, and we didn't start well enough. But once we tied it up a little bit and realised the amount of space there was to play in behind them especially, I thought we looked a real threat, and it felt like the second goal was coming. And that, again, after that, you just wanted that extra one to really kill the game off, which we couldn't quite get. But yeah, Scotty's frustrated he didn't come off the pitch with more goals. He's an outstanding footballer. He's frustrated he hasn't scored more this season, but he's a big player for us and has real quality on a really difficult pitch as well. For someone like him to produce what he does on that surface at the moment, we have a big break on the pitch now, hopefully, so we can sort that out a little bit. But for him to keep doing what he does on a pitch like that as well is testament to him. So yeah, really pleased with Scotty. And he's asked to do some extra finishing work, and he's been doing a lot with Luke Williams, and it pays off. That hard work and Luke's commitment to making sure he gets it right on the training pitch after training is outstanding. So I'm really pleased with him.
It's an important win, isn't it? Every win is important, but at the start of a Christmas period, it's always nice to start it off with a win.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's a busy period. I don't know what's going to happen with our third game in the week against Rochdale at the moment. We've gone from having a full squad very quickly to being very low on numbers. So it's all about recovery now. It's all about making sure we're right for the next game. But I think, forget what period it was. It was an important game for us today. It was a really important game because of the previous results. Plymouth result was very disappointing. The performance at Peterborough was outstanding and we didn't win. So it was a very important game today. And obviously, it's not lost on me that it's the old manager coming back, the guy that brought me to the club. So that's all of that is... It makes it more important for a lot of people. So yeah, I'm really pleased with the guys and their mentality today, and to get the win is big for us.
Let's talk about those low numbers then. You made 4 changes, but felt like an awful lot of them were enforced. Let's talk about David Kasumi. Where was he today?
Dave picked up an injury in training on Christmas Eve. So we're just assessing that at the moment. Obviously, because of it being Christmas and stuff, we haven't been able to find out the full extent of it, but we're hoping it's not too bad, and that he's available for us very, very soon. Who else is there? Matty was due to start today, and he reported sore throat, etc. this morning, so he's obviously had to leave and been tested. But he lives with Steve Walker, who's been ill, but Steve's had a test and was negative for COVID, which is good. So Steve was due to be involved obviously as well, and he wasn't quite ready. George is isolating because of COVID, not because he has it, but he was in contact with someone that does, and so obviously has to do the 10 days legally. So he's gonna be back very soon, fortunately, because he found out early, so he wasn't involved today. And yeah, Warren obviously came off, and the rest I think about. Have I missed anyone? I might have done. There's too many to keep naming them.
Yeah, even down to naming only 5 substitutes on the bench and offering those youngsters an opportunity is massive for them as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, so Charlie Smith was another one who was going to be on the bench late because he's been training with us and he's done great. But he woke up reporting symptoms, so he now has to have a COVID test and stay away. Fortunately, he was well over 48 hours since he was last with us. So, yeah, and I think a lot of clubs, are injuries and illness at this time of year. And obviously the COVID pandemic really doesn't... you have to be really aware of it and aware of the risks and the impact it could have on the whole club and everyone else. So, we're doing everything we possibly can. I said that to you during the week. The protocols here are fantastic. And a lot of time and effort was put into putting them in place, and the players adhere to them. So hopefully a few of them will be back for Tuesday. There's no doubt about it, and we're just waiting 1 or 2 of the others to make sure we can have them and they can be involved.
We obviously spoke about Carlton Morris's future a few days ago, and his status with Norwich. Was his potential transfer away any relation to why he was out of the side today? Yeah,
I'm not going to lie to you. He's in talks about a permanent move to a Championship club, which is Norwich have been really transparent about it and open. And to be fair, credit to Colton, he was willing to play, but it's a really tough one, that, because I know him personally. I know what's at stake for him and his career. We would have loved to have signed him permanently, and he would have been well up for that. But with the salary cap now, we can't compete. We can't compete with a Championship club, and that's the brutal reality. So he's in discussion with that club. Norwich have been great, been really honest about the situation. They were happy for him to keep playing for us. He's in the last 6 months of his contract. It's an offer that they can't turn down. So yeah, unfortunately, I had a discussion with Colton on Christmas Eve about it. And as much as I'd love to play him, whether it's conscious or subconscious, I don't think he'd be able to give everything for us. And not because he wouldn't want to. It would definitely be subconsciously, but it's a really tough position to be in, that, for a player. So he's given us everything he's got. He's been fantastic. If the move falls through, he'll still be with us till the end of the season as planned. If it doesn't, then I'll go on record to thank him for his efforts on and off the pitch, because he's been outstanding in his year with us. A big part of what we're doing, and a big character that we will obviously miss, and we have to work hard to replace in case he does go.
How much of a loss is he going to be then?
Yeah, especially the last few weeks, he's been outstanding, and it's no surprise to me that the way we play, what we do, the stats he picks up, etc., which is used for a lot of recruitment. It's no surprise to me that clubs have been interested in him, even though he hasn't quite got the goals he maybe should have. The rest of his game's been outstanding for us. So it's a big loss for us. I can't hide from that, but it gives other people opportunities, and they have to take it. And looking at opportunities, another one today, another league debut from an academy graduate, Lewis, who I thought was excellent when he come on. Really, really pleased with him. So people who get those opportunities now have to make sure they take them.
Thank you, Russ.
No props.
Russ, another player that was absent today from the matchday squad was Kieran Agard. Any word on?
Hello, James.
Hello, did you hear me?
I lost you. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. Another player that was absent from the matchday squad today was Kieran Agard. Any word on him?
Yeah, frustratingly for Kieran, obviously he's got himself back in the squad and back involved, and he's picked up an injury. So we'll have to wait again to see what the extent of that is. But he wasn't involved because he's picked up a slight muscle injury. So we'll have to wait and see the full extent of that. And I'm sure I'll have more to report with that in the next, hopefully in the next few days. But obviously with the Christmas period, it's become more difficult. But we don't expect him to be back in the immediate future, but it's not going to be too long as well, hopefully. So we'll have to wait and see on that. But that obviously really frustrating for us and for Kieran.
Obviously, it was a really strong team performance today, but one player that really stood out to me was Lasse Sorensen, putting in an exceptional defensive performance today, tracking back, making tackles. It was so much so that by the end of the game, you couldn't read his name or number on the back of his shirt. It was covered in so much mud.
Yeah, I'm really pleased for Lasse. I thought he was really good today. Really, really good. He was asked to focus mainly on his defensive responsibility today, which I thought he'd done excellently. And then when you focus on one thing, the rest of your game tends to come together. And I thought energy he has is great for the team. He showed some real calmness and composure at times as well. And listen, with any young player, you're still going to have moments which they can brush up on, and moments of decision making where it's not quite consistent with the rest of your performance. But on the whole, he was really, really good today, and I'm really pleased for Lasse. And it was important for us today. Him and Andrew Sermon, I thought, were excellent. I think that's Sir's best game as well. He's starting to get fully fit now, and they both really helped us to keep a clean sheet. Not only keep a clean sheet, but also to control the game. So really pleased with both of them.
And speaking of a clean sheet, obviously, and Andrew Fisher hasn't been called on too many times in recent weeks, but today he put in a number of really top saves. Yeah,
as I said, he made 3 saves in that spell where we weren't as good as the rest of the game, which was unexpected. But he made a great double save, and then another one when he had to, when we needed him. And I'm really pleased with Fish. I think he's done great since he come in. Young goalkeeper, still not played, not much huge experience. And it's a big responsibility playing in goal for us with what they have to do on the ball, as well as protect the goal and make sure they kick the ball out of the net. So that'll do him the world of good, and the defenders, the whole team. It's a collective effort, but I'm really pleased with him for that.
Excellent. Cheers, Russ.
No problem.
To sign off from here with a win before, I think it's 5 straight away games or competitions.
Yeah, I mean it's not ideal to have so many games away from home in a row with a squad that's losing numbers at a fast rate. But what I would say is it gives our pitch a little bit of rest, and it needs it, as you can see that. So we have 3 weeks now to really get to work on the pitch, and Andy Cullen has been putting all sorts of plans together to make sure he's called in experts and consultants from the top people that we can, and he's doing everything he can to make sure we get everything in place to help the pitch really improve in the next 2 or 3 weeks. It's not going to work miracles, but it's really going to help it, I think, hopefully, which will help us in the way we play. So of course we've been really strong at home on the whole as well, so you want to keep playing here, but hopefully the long-term benefit is we come back to a better pitch that will help us a bit more than the current one is. So we have to make sure, and we've had a couple of really outstanding wins away from home this season, Charlton and Sunderland being those ones. So we have to make sure we build on this today, and so be it. It happens to be away from home the next few games, and we have to make sure we deal and adapt with that, and perform with the intensity we did today. And if we do that, regardless of where we are, who we play, we give ourselves a chance.
Yeah, it feels like the Norwich game in particular was pretty bad for the pitch. It was just absolutely massively raining. How pleasing is it as well that those who are able to come in, both into the starting lineup and the youngsters off the bench, were able to just buy into what the first team are expected to do on a normal basis?
Yeah, I think it's testament to the amount of work that we've done over a period of time, that everyone knows detail of what's expected of them on the pitch, and they have clarity in their roles on the pitch. They have clarity in the expectation on their behaviour off the pitch and how they conduct themselves. And I'm really pleased for young guys. John Freeman got more minutes. Jack Davis was on the bench. Lewis John, and they're not just on the bench for the sake of it. They're on the bench because we trust them, because they show attention to detail in training. They show that they're willing to learn. They show the right attitude, and they have to continue to do that. And hopefully they'll all continue to grow with us. And they might end up with more opportunities over the next few days because of the injuries, etc., and illness to the squad. So when they get an opportunity, they have to take it, and they've done that today.
You said that the original plan was that Matty Sorinola was going to start today. I thought Dan Harvey did pretty well, knowing the lateness of him getting bumped up to first 11 status.
Oh, well, it wasn't Dan Harvey that wasn't going to play, so
okay.
You must have had an insider, Charles, but they got it wrong. Matty was going to play. Regan came in and done brilliantly, really, really well. So I'm really pleased with Regan. I thought he was excellent today. And that's all you can ask, is when the players come in, they perform, and they perform to the best of their ability. They give everything they've got. Regan always gives everything he's got. And his level of performance has been a little bit inconsistent in a new role, which you expect. But he always gives everything he has. And today I thought he was really good, and he deserved a go. I was really wanted that last chance to go in for him. I was pleased with Riggs today. Matty's been outstanding for us this year and become an important player. So it was a blow this morning, but you trust these guys. I trust every single one of them. So there was no problem at all in putting Riggs straight back in, and he repaid us with a really good performance.
My bad on getting the standing wrong. You said earlier that the status of Carlton Morris is tied up in Norwich, and potentially that they're getting a permanent deal from someone at their end. Has this been something that's been an inkling for a while, with the January window coming up in the next couple of days?
No, I think I've said to you guys, we have to be aware of interest in people, and we have to be, ready for anyone to leave in case they do, and have a succession plan. But that's a recruitment strategy or a trading plan, whatever you want to call it. But we have to have that in place, which we do. But yeah, Norwich, the conversation has been over the last week. It's intensified. They alerted me of interest a while ago. And credit to Carlton, he didn't let it affect his performance. If anything, he produced even better performances in a few of the games I can think of. Peterborough, Charlton been really outstanding. So it's no surprise there was interest in him, but it's intensified. Norwich have agreed to deal with that club, and now it's up to Carlton, obviously, to go through everything he needs to do to make sure that becomes a reality for him. So it is what it is. And obviously, whilst I'm pleased for Carlton and his own career, I'm disappointed for us, because I'd have loved to have been in a position, and if there wasn't a salary cap, I think we would have been in a position to really compete. But unfortunately, we're not. And if it does happen, these things can still fall through. If it does happen, he'll be missed, and we goes our best wishes. If it doesn't, then we'll still have him, and we'll be very happy.